Okay, here we go. We got lots of stuff to talk about today. Well, you know me, I'm a Gemini, Aquarius, Sag. There's always lots of stuff to talk about. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good morning. Happy Monday to everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am at Simply Cindy. I am a psychic medium. I love astrology. I have lots of tools. So, we are going to talk about this week. This is the first time I'm doing like the weekly astrology. We'll see if it goes well, if people like it, if you enjoy it, then we'll sort of keep it up. I'm always changing, trying to find the right combination of, doing videos and doing lives and stuff. So, yeah, this seems to be a good time for everybody. Anywhere between, well, I'm on Pacific time, so in America. So anywhere between like 10 and noon for me seems to be a really good time for everyone. So, hi Alejandra, how are you? Let's see how my my background, like, it's weird. Uh, oh, yeah. I guess that's okay. Um Maybe it needs to go this way. I don't know. No. You know how cameras are. There we go. So, welcome. Thank you for joining. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Karina. Yeah, I saw Alejandra's. She said, "Thank you, YouTube, for notifying me." Appreciate it. That's the way I feel too. Uh, let's see. So we have an interesting week. Things are going to finally start moving forward. You guys can hear me fine, right? So I'm gonna have two different charts up. Y'all are only gonna see one, but I'm gonna have two different ones up. So, hey, Kathy, how are you? My angel. Um, so I've got two different things, two different screens up. So if I get confused a little, bear with me. We don't have David right now. So I'm trying to make it where I can see you guys and I can see. Oh, I guess I could look over here, huh? Okay, so today is February 3rd. We have lots of things going on. This is this month is like ramping up for March. March is going to be like a huge month. March, April, May. And that's because all these planets are like about to move into, there's a lot of planets moving into Aries. So I went ahead and put Aries up as the first house since we're going to be talking a lot about her. The main theme is Venus. So if you know, Aries is ruled by Mars, but Venus is going to be in there. Venus is a big thing because we're in shadow of Venus right now. Okay, so we've got some things going on. But for today, let's talk about today, and I'll go through the dates up until the 9th and give you the themes, and then we'll go back and talk about them. Tina, thank you for coming in. So today's that's February 3rd. We have this Mercury trine Jupiter. Okay. Now this is really important for a couple of reasons. We talked about Jupiter a while back. So I have a video that I went ahead and put in the description that I need y'all to go back and look at because Venus and Mars and Saturn are going to be a focus about what's going on, right? So I'm sorry, Jupiter, Venus, and Mars and Saturn. Okay. But you have to go back and look at that video. So for today, and I'll explain this in a little bit. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe. So today we have this trine going on with Mercury and Jupiter tomorrow is going to turn direct. Okay, Jupiter's really important right now. Venus is moving into its shadow, but Jupiter's turning direct. Now, Jupiter has been in a weak square, and I will take the square when it's the inner planets, when it's Jupiter and Saturn. But this is going on to a story that we had talked about in that other video, which it's going to take too long to explain again. But we talked about the Great Conjunction in 2020, and then we talked about what was going to happen on August 19th or around that time of 2024, and then how they were going to swear again on December 24th, and then how it's been going. This is, I'm talking about Saturn and Jupiter, right? And so at one time, Saturn was, and they were in different signs. At one time, Saturn was retrograde. The next time, Jupiter was retrograde. And we've still been in that sort of retrograde going on from December 24th. And then what's going to happen is Jupiter is going to, so this is a longer story. This is from 2020. And I explained how big that event was with the Great Conjunction. So they were conjunct, and then they went to the opening square in August 19th, right? There were some changes we had to have. There were some things I told you guys as Jupiter and Uranus went retrograde. It was like, they were about to, so in August, so July, August, September is when they sort of, those two, Jupiter and Uranus, were and Saturn were showing us what was possible, right? And this has to do with the Great Conjunction, which is the thought and the idea that we had in 2020. Okay, and then they went into their first opening square. So there were some adjustments from that thing that you were thinking about, from that thing that you wanted to manifest in 2020. And of course the pandemic hit, our lives changed, but we had this thought, this thing that we wanted to manifest. And then it came back up in August because we were going to have some changes. That was when Saturn was retrograde, right? And Jupiter was fine, but Jupiter was about to go retrograde. That was the first opening square. Then, and I know a lot of astrologers are not talking about this, but I like to have the continuous story so that you kind of get where you're going, right? So then, and so we had the opening square, which I said they're going to pull back. Jupiter and Uranus are going to pull back, but it's so that you can, with Saturn retrograde, you can take the action, see which way you wanted to pivot, make some choices, some hard choices. There were some hard choices to make about having this dream come true. Is a this dream has been going on since 2020. And the reason I said it's taken so long is because we've entered a new age, and this is the foundation of the dream you're trying to build. It's the foundation of the thing that you've been trying to manifest, right? The new way of life. And for it to stick, for it to be that solid, almost like institutional, but I don't mean institutional by like it's an institute. I mean, you know how institutes last long and government lasts long. It's that type of foundation that you're building. It's that type of foundation that you're laying. Okay. So anyway, and then what happened was December 24th is when the we had the Jupiter thing going on. So first we had to show it, then we had to adjust, and we're still having to adjust. Now they are, and the reason this is coming up is because Jupiter is finally going direct. Okay. So Jupiter and Mars had been retrograde, both one or the other, and the opening square was that August 19th. Then we had December 24th when they met again in a square. So the first time they met was together in 2020. And then they had and it's important because we're laying the foundation to a new awareness, a new way of life, a new way of thinking, it's not just us, it's our consciousness. It's on a bigger scale. It's not just you personally, it's you and society on a conscious level, the wisdom, the conscious, the higher mind. That's Jupiter with Saturn bringing that down, right? And I in that other video I explain everything where it's it has to do with finances and the way that we do things and societal and we've seen that. We've seen a lot of changes, right? But the reason this is important is because what we've had to understand as a whole in a group, as we're building and laying the foundation for ourselves, we're also building and laying foundation in society, in the way that we understand ourselves, in the way that we understand life around us, in the way that we understand people and society and how to adapt and adjust and not forget about ourselves, right? Now that Jupiter, we had to rethink, redo, readjust the and it's in Gemini, right? Gemini is social, right? TikTok, Facebook, things came out. We had a bigger understanding. All of that is happening in on the societal level, but it's also happening to us as well. What do I believe? How am I communicating? What am I doing and what am I not doing? What am I saying? What am I not saying? Right? And this was Saturn with Jupiter saying, what do you guys want to bring down? What do you want to have as your life, right? It's no longer about working 100 hours and putting our heads down and not looking anymore. We're a bigger consciousness. You're seeing everybody. I think a lot of people have been awake. They're just now figuring out where to go and where to look and what to do, right? Maybe not even what to do yet. But what I said was this dream had started in 2020. It's not, you're not going to see the fruition of it. You're not going to see the results of it until June 15th or around there. I mean, when I say these dates, it's not exact, right? Even though the planets are exact, it means it could be exact for you, but it kind of depends on where you're at, what your chart is, and all of that. So around that June 15th is when we're finally going to have that last closing square of this dream, of this foundation, of this thing going on. When it first started, when they first started talking to each other, uh, in the conjunction, they were in the fixed sign. So they were in, so it was something to bring down the idea, right? Aquarius, ideas, genius, thinking outside the box. That was Saturn and Jupiter here. And then they hit that first square, that opening square. It's like, okay, now that you kind of see, what are you going to do? What do you want? Right? And Uranus was over here helping, but it was Jupiter and Saturn. And when Jupiter and Saturn get together in a conjunction, which they hadn't in over 200 years, and then when they moved into here, it was starting a 20-year cycle. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to get your dreams until 20 years. That just means it's the start of that foundational, and then we have to build the walls. Right now we're at the foundation. Okay, so and I said, I think it was in November, this video that I want y'all to go look at, I said I'm bringing this out so that you don't get discouraged when we reach this point right here, or yeah, when we reach this point and it still hasn't come through, right? It's because it's a longer thing that's going to last in your life. It's not this flyby, oh, I built that and then it shredded, or I built that and then the tower came. It's not that. It's like what us personally and the bigger picture with society, what are we building? Well, we had to go through, then we started, when Saturn was retrograde is when we were making those choices. And remember, Mars was over here, and when they aspected, Mars was here, and that was like, are you bold? Are you standing up? Are you changing your patterns? We've been talking about this, right? Mars in retrograde. Are you changing your patterns? Are you doing what you want to do to get to that dream, to lay that foundation so strong that it's not going to move? You're getting to a place, all of us are getting to a place where we aren't going to be worried and have high anxiety and worry about food in our mouth or roof over our heads, or the stuff that I think as humans we have the right to. just normally without any of that, without having to work so hard and having to do that. Like, do you understand that we are, this is my perception, we are creators. We should be creating, okay? We should be creating together and ourselves. That's where our society should be. We shouldn't be bogged down by having to think about, where am I going to get my roof over my head? Where am I going to get the car payment? Where am I going to get the, like, that's all busybody work. I used to call it busybody work, and it's not allowing us to create. We are creators. It would be such a wonderful place if everyone understood. Can you imagine the miracles that would happen? The glorious dreams that would come alive if some people got to, if everyone got to create. We're such creators. There's creations that we haven't even thought of yet because we've been so busy doing other things, worrying about other things. That's where our consciousness has decided it's ready to go in that direction. But we got to like build solid foundations. We got to like learn to work together. Some of us have to learn to like each other first, right? Like we have a lot to do. Does that make sense to you guys? So with this, when these two come together, and again, they hadn't come in 20 into over 200 years, and then they hadn't come, and it started a 200-year cycle and it started a 20-year cycle. Okay, and I explain all that in the video. But now that they're here, we had to learn while Jupiter was in retrograde, how my higher mind, what is my consciousness saying as I connect to everyone else consciously, because we're always connected, but as I'm understanding society better, as I'm seeing it clearer, as I'm understanding what I don't want and what I do want, and where I want our society to head together. It's got to be together, okay? Because that's where we're going. That's why Jupiter was retrograde. Jupiter was trying to give us the wisdom. Jupiter was trying to help us understand. Jupiter was like, yes, do you understand that you can have all of these things? Now I want you to turn in with Saturn, do the work, and think about how you want to do this. Alone, like individually, and with the group. Does that make sense? Because Jupiter in Gemini is adaptable. Gemini is like, yeah, we can do it together. Show me why it's purposeful to do it together. That's Gemini, right? And Pisces is like, yes, we can do this together because I know all. Like I'm connected to all, right? So this is a weak square here, but now that Jupiter is about to go direct, Jupiter is like, okay, you've understood, not learned. You've understood as an individual and as a big conscious what you needed to understand. You've understood the wisdom. You've gained the wisdom. You've understood where you can go, that these things are possible, how your life can be bigger. Some of you, just not dimming your light was what Jupiter was trying to teach you with Saturn. Like we have had our lights dimmed for so long, right? But we're always thinking about the outside. So Saturn was there saying, those things that you see, you can have down here. You just have to, and I will help you. Jupiter will help you. Jupiter will give you the wisdom and the luck and the prosperity and the abundance and the optimism to do it. But I just need you to be responsible. I need you to know how this earth can work with time, right? With, let's test this out. Let's test this out, right? Hey, Rebecca. So now that Jupiter's about to go direct, this is where Jupiter has said, okay, you've gained the wisdom that you needed to gain. Now we can move forward with this, right? And again, you should already know this is what I want to do. You should kind of already be doing a little bit of it, This is what I want to do. But things are foggy, right? We have this North Node, Neptune, Venus in her shadow. Things are a little foggy. You're like, I saw it before. I was doing it before. It's pulled back, and I had to have faith in myself. I had to learn the faith in myself. I had to learn that there are, good people in this world and not everything's a tragedy. And like, I had to learn all that. I had to see all of that, right? And so with Jupiter turning direct, now you're going to start seeing and reaping what you sown. Basically, that's what you're doing. You're going to start seeing and reaping what you sown. This is a weaker square. It's just keeping you like directed, right? But where it was inward with Jupiter, now that Jupiter's going to go direct, they're both going to be direct. So you remember that pressure that I was saying when it's a square? There are some things coming about for you, right? Now, uh, and especially when Mars goes direct, you're going to see more coming at you, right? And then with Venus, we're going to have to be careful, right? Because Venus is going retrograde, but it is going retrograde in Aries, okay? It is, in astrology, we call it in detriment, which means Venus doesn't really like to be there. But I think that's old thinking for me because I'm understanding Venus and Mars in a different way than a lot of people do. I think as Venus goes in there and goes retrograde in Aries, because Aries, remember, Mars rules Aries. And if you watched my video about Mars, Venus, and Pluto and the conversation they were having, it's like Venus needs to nurture herself and put boundaries down, right? Well, if Aries is ruled by Mars and Venus and Mars work together, then Venus in Aries to me is telling me this is going to be a time for us to show not just ourselves, but the people around us and Saturn and Jupiter that yes, I'm very clear about my boundaries. I'm being bold, I'm being courageous, and I'm nurturing myself. So I think that it can work really well for those of us that have been working on that. Okay. So the Venus retrograde does not have to be a bad time. It to me, it's like giving you the Mars energy to protect yourself, to if you need to, right? Um, to see the red flags and deal with them, to be courageous enough to take the next step in your dream, to fight for what you want, right? Like that's all Mars energy. And Mars protects Venus and Venus nurtures Mars. So I think as Venus goes into Aries, she is going to nurture that part of you. Have you nurtured yourself? Have you had compassion for yourself? This is that retrograde where you're going to be thinking about when situations come to you. And think, have I given myself grace? Am I being too hard on myself? I wouldn't be hard on my friend, but why am I hard on myself? I would give compassion to my friend. Why wouldn't I give that to myself? Like, I think that's what's going to be going on when Venus comes in here. Okay. So for today, I always go off on a tangent. I'm so sorry. For today, I want y'all to go look at that video. But for today, Mercury, um, is trining Jupiter. So I think your voices, your processing, um, with this trine, those things that you have been doing over the last couple of months, 3, 4 months, um, Jupiter's really going to give you this gift. There's going to give you this gift. I know I got a gift. So I kind of feel like if you've been doing the work, you're going to get a gift, right? Now, also, Mars is trining Mars retrograde, right? So Saturn, did I say Mars? Saturn trining Mars. I don't know why I'm getting Mercury and Mars mixed up. Saturn trining Mars retrograde is like reminding us to be bold and courageous, even in the face of fear. Like, even when fear is right there. Say what you need to say, process what you need to process. Be bold and take the next step. Don't shut down. If it gets overwhelming, do not shut down. Keep going. That's Mars retrograde giving you the nurture yourself, love yourself, like Mars in Cancer. Nurture yourself, love yourself enough, believe in yourself enough to take the next step. Now, right now at the end of this, we're right before Jupiter's turning direct and right before Mars is turning direct. It's scary. It may not be scary for everybody, but it's scary. There are some things where you're like, I'm kind of finagling. I'm having to, like, I know what she's saying, but it's scary. Do I take this step? Do I do this thing? Do I? Yes, 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 yes. That's Mars retrograde. And if you have been doing that over the last months, there is a gift coming. There's a gift coming. Okay. And look at this. The moon is opposing Lilith. You have, to me, the moon opposing Lilith is what I heard is you have every right to be here on this earth today and live a wonderful, not stressful, courageous, beautiful life. You have every right. Just like the person next to you has every right. But it is up to you to make that happen. Stand up for yourself. Say the things that you need to say. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shameful. Don't be any of that. Look at Lilith and Mars. Like, the energy is ripe for courageousness, for boldness, for standing in your truth, and for not being afraid that you're doing it wrong, or that it's not going to go well, or that it's been messed up in the past, or that any of that. Like, that's the old way of thinking. You have not just Saturn, but you have this Neptune, North Node, Venus. Dreams are coming true. Things are going to be happening. We have been in a lot of retrogrades. We are just getting out of the end of the retrograde. And I told you guys in that other video of February, my monthly February, we got 7 days where things are just going to be coming. And this is from all the work that you have done. We're just right at the end where we're tired. Things don't look right. And you're second guessing yourself. Don't second guess yourself. Okay? Now, the next thing that's going to happen is June 4th, tomorrow. And I've already talked about this a little bit, a lot. So, Jupiter turns direct. And then there's this trine, right? So, Jupiter turning direct gives us a trine with the sun. Okay, so I'm telling you, as soon as that Jupiter starts turning direct, and it's already starting, things are going to start happening. Things are going to come to you. This is a trine. This is a gift. You still have, and you're still going to have this trine with Saturn, right? But Jupiter turning direct is no more about the inside. It's going to show us the wisdom. It's going to show us the abundance. It's going to show us the opportunities. It's going to show us the optimism. It's going to show us that we do have all these things. Especially because it has been talking to Saturn, who is the master of working in time and space, who is the master of making what's not solid solid. That makes sense to everybody? So that's tomorrow. Jupiter, and then And again, like I said in the other video, I don't want you to get discouraged when your dream hasn't finished yet. When it isn't all right in front of you. That's not going to happen till June 15th. We have been working on this since 2020. Okay? But that's not going to happen till June 15th. But guess what? That's only a couple months away, right? So with these being in a weak square, just pay attention to what's coming your way and the decisions that you're making because of the belief that you have now in yourself, because of the understanding and the wisdom that Jupiter has given you. Because on June 15th, around that time, um, there's going to be like one more decision to make or way to go to really solidify this. Okay, that makes sense. But tomorrow, Jupiter turns direct. Okay, and Venus enters Aries. Okay. So for Aries, this is about your identity. This is about, are you nurturing yourself? This is about, are you being bold? But with it retrograde, it's having you look at yourself and say, all right, am I being too much? Am I not giving leeways where I should? Am I being too bold? Or do I need to pull it back a little? Because I don't even believe in that anymore? I'm just so used to, it's a habit for me to get mad when somebody triggers me that way. Like that's kind of Venus retrograde for Aries. Okay. But it's a cardinal. Okay. Aries is a cardinal sign. We've got these going into Aries as well. Okay. So, um, in March, we're going to have these planets in Aries, and this is all starts, right? This is just the ramping up in February. Things are going to start coming in, right? So wherever Venus is for you, like I'm a Venus Aries, so my Venus return is about to hit too. Um, y'all can see my life is just changing because I've got a lot of returns. I got a lot of like I've got the North Node, a nodal return. I've got a Venus return, and I think I'm gonna have a Saturn. Yeah, I'm gonna have a Saturn return. I think it's not till the end of the year. Um, but yeah, like for you guys, you may have that same thing, right? Now we have this Chiron in here, and I'll talk more about that later, but just pay attention because in February it's like a come and go. You're gonna think you're ready to go, and it's gonna go for a minute, and then it's gonna pull back a little bit. And I don't want you to get discouraged. You're just tweaking right now. You're just tweaking right now. So you've come to we're all at a different place where we believe in ourselves more. We believe in the workings of the universe, the workings of Mother Earth. We're seeing clearly what we didn't see before. Secrets are being brought to the forefront so that we no longer have to have the thought of, I know somebody's lying. And I'm not talking about just personal. I'm talking about like, I know the government's lying. I know that, I know, what you can do now is like, yep, I already know that. No, I don't know that. Yep, I know that. I'm not even worried about it. I already know what to do. Right? Right? Bring it. Um, so February 4th, Venus is going into Aries. Remember, it's going to be about nurturing yourself. And are you courageous? And are you being bold enough to take the next steps as life begins to happen and choices are to be made? It's going to feel a little scary sometimes, but it shouldn't feel as scary as it did before because you're knowing yourself better. You're believing in yourself better. That's Saturn, right? And with Jupiter being direct, it's going to show us. So I'm sorry, I can't read what they're saying. Okay, sorry, Rebecca, I couldn't read what you're saying, so I'm just going to continue to talk. So just know that that's when it goes direct tomorrow, and then Venus goes. And I'd said the other day, pay attention to what's going on here. pay attention from the other day till because Venus is going to turn retrograde at 10 degrees. Okay. So we're going to be working on this part of who we are we doing it, of whatever house that is for you. Okay. Now, the next thing is 7. Okay. On the 7th, there is, hold on a second. Again, I'm looking at two things. So on the 7th, there is, where is it? See the sextile? There's going to be an opportunity here. So this sextile with Venus and Pluto. Okay. Remember that, go back and look at that Venus, Pluto, Mars conversation, I think is what it's called. I'll try to remember to put it in the description after this live. But there's a sextile. There's going to be an opportunity here. There's going to be a good opportunity here, right? But you have to remember what Venus is trying to show you right now because she's in shadow, right? Pluto is saying, are you stepping? Remember, am I being bold enough to take the next step? Am I believing and have faith in myself to take the next step? Do I know myself better now? Right? That's what Pluto's asking you too. Do I know a little bit more of the part that I'm playing on this earth with humanity and society and myself, right? This sextile is coming because there's an opportunity here where Pluto is wanting you to step into your power. Okay? Step into your power. Venus is going to help you. Pluto is going to help you. It's a sextile. There's an opportunity coming. Okay? And that's on the 7th. I know it looks scary right now for people. I know it does. It's scary for me. And when I say this about, when I say, oh, don't be scared, I don't mean don't be scared ever. I mean, and I should be more clear with that, right? As you get scared about something, honor that fear. Okay? Honor the fear. That's Venus. That's Mars. Honor the fear and then let it go. Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself. Trust that you've made the right decisions. Have faith in yourself before anyone or anything else. This is what Saturn's been trying to teach us. Okay? Y'all are, this whole group, y'all are consciously making decisions and aware. It's not like you used to be where you had to like work hard and do hard and you just didn't have time to think about those other things, even though those other things were coming in. Even though your higher self and your energy part was like trying to direct you, right? Now you're in a different place. Now you have been for years now consciously making those decisions, understanding a bigger part of how we live this life. Not like our ancestors, not like our great grandparents who just had to survive. That's not where we're at. But we have this DNA that is ingrained in us that is about survival, right? We're not in that time. We have to let go of that. And this is all part of how we're letting go of that. Slowly by slowly by slowly. Okay? So, on the 7th, there's this opportunity coming up, right? Do you see this trine? There's a trine here. It's still continuing. There's a trine with the sun and Lilith, meaning did you stand up for yourself? What you didn't see before, you're going to see clearly now. There's a gift coming there. It's also with Mercury. Have you said what you needed to say? Have you processed and understood? This is a Kazemi. So not only is Pluto sextiling Venus, but there is a Kazemi here, which means that there is something that is going to be lit up, get cleared up, and shown to you and processed with Mercury. And so even on the societal of what's going on right now. We're going to see something. Somebody's going to say something. Somebody's going to hold their ground. We're going to be shown this courageousness, right? Within ourselves, with our life, whatever's going on in that area of your life, uh, wherever Aquarius is, something's going to be shown over here. Okay, something's going to be lit up. Something's going to be very clear for you. Okay, so look to see where Aquarius is in your house. And Pluto has been here. He's steadily working here. He's steadily talking. He's steadily saying on a societal level and on your level, have you been thinking outside the box? Do you understand your power in this genius of yourself? Right? That's part of what he's saying. But on the 7th, you're going to see some clarity here. There's going to either something comes through where you're like, yeah, that was it. Or like something physical comes through where you're like, oh, I just needed to call that person. Oh, I just needed to do that thing. Oh, like that's all processing, but it's also Mercury is not just a lot of astrologers don't say it this way, but I see Mercury as a processor as well. So he helps you digest, understand, right? The lower mind. Jupiter, the higher mind. Mercury, the lower mind, right? The everyday mundane stuff. Well, the sun's coming in here to deliver a message. You're going to get a message of some sort, or you're going to get an understanding of some sort. Okay. And that's happening on the 7th. And then it's really Kazimi'd. So it's like right exact on the 9th. Okay. So on the 9th, which ends our week, they're right exact. So there is a message that's coming to you in this area of life, having to do with an understanding, a clarity, or a thing that comes through for you. Okay, does that make sense? Yep. And we're still having this trine here, or we're still having this trine here. Okay. Here's Mars retrograde with the moon. They're almost conjunct on that day too, right? So there's a message here and there's understanding here about being bold, about stepping in your truth, about changing the pattern and not doing it. It could be that you're like, because I didn't do it this way, I actually did it another way because I was listening and I changed my pattern. You could get something here having to do with this. Okay? Yeah. We got all this unfolding coming out too. Okay? So, does anybody have any questions before I get going? I've got a lot of work to do. Thank you, Chrissy. Thanks for saying hit the like button. And for those of you that have never seen me before, I do services. I do read charts. I'll do sessions with you. You just have to email me at yourpath39 at Gmail, and then I'll send you a list of my services and then how I work. Okay. So anybody have any questions? I don't even know who's here because I have two screens up and I had to block what y'all were saying. I don't have enough, I don't have enough room. Let's see. Okay, so Rebecca said, I don't usually ask, but please could you guys send some white protective energy around my partner and I tomorrow? Absolutely. Done. Oh yeah, y'all are, Rebecca, I went into your energy and y'all are already lit up. They did a great job. Y'all are like beaming. I can see both of y'all walking beaming. You're going to be fine. That Aquarius new moon revealed some things and provided clarity for me. Wow. I don't know if you remember that contract we spoke about a few lives ago, but it was about that. Wow. Oh, thank you guys so much. This is the best group. It is the best group. You guys are wonderful. Hey, Shawnee, how are you? Send me some bravery to go fetch myself a boyfriend, please. What are you going to fetching for? What are you talking about, Alejandra? You don't go fetch a boyfriend. You stand in your truth and they come. You don't fetch. You're a woman. You do not fetch. Oh, good. Thank you for listening while at work. You are a woman of this caliber. Like these women. Like you're part of this. You don't fetch nothing. You just have to, you actually, this group has to pull back. You have to, like, when you're ready, just open it up for the right one. Yeah. Are you kidding? I mean, I'm telling you, I don't have a boyfriend. I don't date. I don't have a husband because I don't want to. I'm not closed off to it, but it's not my focus. And that goes for probably everyone in here. When you want one and you're ready, it's going to come like that. Exactly, Shawty. We don't go to, no, they come to us. We're the Venus. Each one of y'all. When you're ready, just open it up. Do y'all know what I'm saying when I say open it up? Because that's how I do it. Like, just open it up and say, okay, I'm ready. Before I met my husband, I said I was ready. Like 2 months before. Before I met my fiancés, I said I was ready. Two to 4 months before. I don't know. For me, it's an energy I get where I'm like, okay, I'm ready. And it's an instant thing. It's not something I linger on and think about and like, oh, it's just like, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. Right? Alejandra, be you. Be confident, courageous, and he'll come. Absolutely, Tina. Interesting. Was thinking about the boyfriends turning up today for my bestie. Yeah. Venus, draw back your arrow. Yeah, absolutely. You just say when you're ready, when you want it, you know? And I'm sure most of the women here, you don't have a boyfriend or something. Look at Rebecca, she's got one, like because she wants one. Like you guys are women of this caliber. You don't go chasing or go one after or go. And no, no, are you kidding? Mm-mm. No, no. You just say. You stand in your truth and you say, "That's what I want." And then you let it come. You don't go chasing. You let it come. I'm not 100% ready to be honest. I'm just enjoying being alone as so much. Exactly. That's okay too. But just be in your stand in your truth. If you're just enjoying, then just enjoy. But you don't have to chase to enjoy unless you like the chase. I was wanting a relationship for a long time, but in denial about it. My boyfriend and I met when I expected it to. Yeah, I said over the weekend, I'll meet my boyfriend. Can't wait to meet Jen. It, yes, that's exactly how I do it. Like, I already know you guys can do this. Him. And there he was. Yes. Each one of y'all can do this. I don't talk a lot about this anymore because I don't know. I don't talk a lot about this anymore, but yeah, we can talk about it in our membership. We can talk about that in our membership. There are ways that we do it. Like, I don't want to say that and it sounds bad. It's just mm, let's just say I have a stellium. You guys know I have the stellium in my seventh house. You guys know my south node is there. All the bigger planets are there. So You know I know how to work that house. But pain comes in that house. There's a lot of pain with that, right? I've lost a lot of people. So, yeah, because I've got Pluto in there. But there are the good part of having that house is that yeah, you can attract people. But we can talk about that in the membership. I can show you guys some stuff. My girlfriends used to always say, "Oh my God, please write that book about dating and relationships." I'm like, I'm not writing that book. I'm not giving my secrets away, but I'll give them to y'all. My husband is sending me a great guy because he knows I deserve the best. Absolutely. Right? A big gear. It's funny. I mean, there's been a lot of pain in that house. Like I said, I've lost people. I've had abandonment. I've had betrayals. I've had. I think I told y'all that the other day. It's like I've had a lot in that house, but that's not even the house I'm like afraid of or don't want to work it. I don't find that house that way. The second house is my issue. That's the issue, and I want to get over it. Like it's really perturbing me. Not over. But that's where I have Chiron is in my second house. I have Chiron, Saturn, and Venus, right? In Aries, right? Aries is my second house. So if everything is coming to here, y'all know I'm having some returns. My life is like, but it is my chart's ruled by Uranus, y'all know. So ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs right now. But there's a lot of energy about to go in here in March. It's going to be like for everybody, not just me and my second house. But and the way that I've discovered it so far is just to be open with you guys about my struggle, my second house. And again, and I don't know why. Maybe it's because Chiron is in my second house. Because I don't, you would think that I would be afraid and really frustrated for my seventh house, and I'm not. But maybe it's because my south node is in there, Pluto's, I don't know. It's my second house. None of the other houses, just my second house. Do you guys find that for yourselves? Like, are you guys afraid of the area where Chiron is there? Or is that the like, you have to look. Yeah, and again, I'm changing my pattern. So I'm doing it out in the open now. I'm revealing a lot. I'm being open and honest um, as I can, right? And still, being aware that I'm online and whatever. But that's why we have the membership because we can really talk in there, right? Because those in my membership, I've known y'all for a long time. I trust you. And we know that we're struggling together. We know that we're happy together. We know what to do and we can help each other out. Just like I'm telling Alejandra, you don't chase anything. You are Alejandra. You just stand, make your choice, and then allow it to come. Chrissy says, mine is the third, and I was afraid of posting online, and I decided to let go of that, and I'm posting. Yay! Good job, Chrissy. Good job. All right, guys. My grandbaby's about to be home. I need to go eat some lunch, and I need to get back to. Do you guys like this weekly thing? Mine's 10th, and I'm also scared of being seen. Yeah, I'm not scared of being. I used to be like leery. I've always been one that's the Virgo South Node. I want to be in the background. I want to control everything, but be in the background. And then I think my mother and then work, my career. I had to stand in front of very, very wealthy, elite, influential people that y'all see in the news every day. Like I know these people. I had to stand in front of them, and I had to like little old me stand in front of them and show them that I knew I was that we needed this and we were gonna do that and we are gonna do blah blah blah. Like I kind of got over it having to stand in front of, like, those are all alpha female males, right? Like those are all like big, big energy. Yeah, and that kind of reminds me. I guess I've always said my energy is big. That's why, because I was able to stand there and do that. But I got over that. So I no longer am afraid to be seen. I've learned to step in my light. I want that for all of you. Step in your light. Yes, it's lovely getting to meet and chat for a while. I love this group. I know. Dot try. Yeah, yeah. Love your face, Tina. Oh my God. Did y'all love that book or what? I can't wait till we start reading the next one. Hopefully we can read it tomorrow. Um, if not tomorrow, Wednesday, but definitely one or the other. I'll try to make allowance for tomorrow. Right? Such a weird ending, but it was like I was talking to Kathy and we were talking about the ending of the book because I'm reading a book in my membership, and we finished that book. But at the end, I was like, I was mad, happy, sad, confused all at once. That's a good writer. That's a really good writer. Um, to end it the way that she ended it. But we're gonna be going to the next one anyway. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for being here. And if you like these weeklies, we'll do them again. Um, yeah, because it's kind of cool. Monday morning, we'll just do a weekly, right? So I've got to go get some videos and stuff done. I love you, love you, love you. I will see you on the next one. Bye. I got to find